So I don't do any fancy kind of long lining with horses. I don't use surcingles. I don't run the lines through the stirrups of a saddle or anything like that. I teach them to allow me to flop the rope up over their back as we make the next turn. I do it for teaching them about being driven from the saddle position. So, like, I'm going to try to stay in the saddle position, and then I'm going to fall back and ask him to let me throw the left rope over his back and use the right rope to steer. And ideally, I want him to continue moving. I want it to kind of have a little bit of a flow. Now, he's never seen this before. So he's asking me questions like, am I done? Am I done? Because he thinks more of like a lunging circle, even though he doesn't know that either. But that's kind of the concept he's trying to figure out. So what my mistake at first was is I kept getting ahead of the drive line, which was then causing him to turn and face me. All I'm trying to do now is just tell him to, get moving ahead of me so I can stay. There we go. So I can stay back in the saddle position. Because he kept turning and facing me, it was a little difficult at first to get him to understand I need you to go out ahead of me. There you go. There you go. And once they start getting a cadence to their feet, then we can start working. But if he keeps asking questions in his feet, which is those hesitation steps, him continuing to keep his head facing me. So now my goal would be is to continue to encourage him to not keep turning into me with his head. So I'm going to communicate a little bit to his head. So here I'm just showing him what it would be like to have me flop it along his body. I want him to also be able to handle kind of that stimulation. And then by doing that, I also help myself get the rope to the other side. So it was kind of a twofold exercise there, flopping the rope on his back, down his back, and to the other side, and helping him figure out that none of that needs to be scary. Once I fall back, I want to try to keep a flow. He actually gets this quite well. He gets it pretty easily to the point to where he almost makes it look like it's a lot easier than it is. It's really not as easy as he's making it look. I know that right now he's still kind of in the I'm not sure what you want me to do stage. However, even this good is better than most workout in the beginning. So I lost my audio when I did do this as a live. I lost all my audio, and if you still had my audio, it would be telling you that I can't believe how easy he's making this look. So if you were to decide to set out to do some ground driving in this kind of fashion, I want to say this, I don't know that this is an actual technique anybody uses the way I do, but I've seen like kind of like surcingles and bridles and fancy stuff for horses that are being ground driven or long lined, and that's not how I do it or what I do it for. I'm just doing it to help educate a young horse about driving out in front of me, but yet responding to my steering aids. So, like I said, he's just making it look easy. Expect a horse to always turn and face you like he was in the beginning, but expect that to last a lot longer than how he did it. Because now he's just starting to ask questions. He's not actually trying to turn in and talk to me anymore. He's just turning his head to ask, and then he's ready for me to tell him. So see, he turned and asked me, and then I was there to tell him, yeah, I need you to keep going forward. And he didn't turn and face and go, but are you sure? Are you sure? Because sometimes he'll turn and face you like he was in the beginning, like, are you sure? Because I don't really think that's what you mean. He kind of said, yeah, I believe you. I guess that's what we're supposed to be doing. So I'm really proud of him in this exercise. He made it really, really easy to get through this. And unfortunately, he also made it look really easy. I don't think I've ever had a horse do it quite so easily. Like, I could have brought out a bunch of obstacles and asked him to start steering through intricate turns and things like that, and I would have been very successful with him in doing that. But I decided I wanted to do something else instead. So I did quit after we just got this mastered, and then we went on to do something else. But I'm very, very, very proud of him.